pain is the clearest signal that something must end. When a woman repeatedly wounds your heart, it is not love speaking, it is a warning. To stay is to invite more damage, to waste your time hoping for change that will never come. Many men fall into the trap of confusing attachment with devotion, thinking endurance makes them strong. In reality, clinging to someone who disrespects you is not strength, but weakness disguised as loyalty. A man who values himself understands a brutal truth. No woman who truly cares for him will ever make him question his worth. Letting go, therefore, is not abandonment. It is an act of self-preservation. It is the first step toward reclaiming your dignity, your freedom, and the power to shape a life that cannot be dictated by the cruelty of another. Step 1. Recognize the truth. She is no longer yours. The first and most brutal step in letting go of any woman who hurts you is to confront reality without illusions. A man's greatest weakness is not the pain she causes, but the story he tells himself to justify staying. He convinces himself that her coldness is only temporary, that her disrespect is just a moment of stress, that her betrayal can somehow be forgiven if he simply loves her harder. This is the lie that chains him. The truth is far simpler and far colder. A woman who repeatedly wounds you has already decided that you are no longer worth her respect. Recognition of this fact is not about anger, revenge, or bitterness. It is about clarity. Ask yourself one question with absolute honesty. If she truly valued me, would she treat me this way? The answer will cut deeper than any excuse. Love, when real, is expressed through care, loyalty, and mutual respect. The absence of these is not a small flaw to overlook. It is a verdict. It means she has already checked out of the relationship. Even if she still lingers in your life, holding on to her does not bring her back. It only drags you further down. Men often confuse endurance with loyalty, thinking that to stay through pain is a sign of devotion. But loyalty to someone who abuses it is not noble. It is self-betrayal. You cannot remain faithful to someone who has already broken faith with you. To do so is to abandon yourself, to place her above your own dignity. And once a man abandons his dignity, he loses the very foundation of his strength. To recognize that she is no longer yours is to reclaim control over your mind. It forces you to stop bargaining with fantasies and confront the reality of her choices. She has shown you who she is through her actions. Believe it. Do not waste another second interpreting mixed signals or analyzing words that contradict behavior. A woman who loves you will make it obvious. A woman who does not will also make it obvious. Through distance, neglect, and cruelty, your job is not to decode her excuses, but to accept the evidence in front of you. This recognition is painful because it means the dream you held about her is dead. But the death of an illusion is the birth of freedom. Once you accept the truth, the chains of denial begin to fall away. You stop asking, "Why is she doing this to me?" and start declaring, "I deserve better than this." That single shift in perspective is the seed of liberation. Never forget, the moment you see clearly that she is no longer yours is the moment you begin to belong fully to yourself again. Step 2. Cut off emotional and physical contact. Once you have accepted the truth that she is no longer yours, the next step is execution. Removing her presence from your life with precision and finality. Recognition without action is useless. If you continue to allow her voice, her image, or her influence into your daily existence, you will remain trapped in the same cycle of longing and pain. Freedom requires disconnection. This disconnection must be absolute, not partial. Too many men sabotage themselves by holding on to just a little connection, checking her social media, responding to her late-night texts, or keeping her number saved in their phones just in case. Every small thread you leave intact is a chain waiting to pull you back. You cannot heal while you're still bleeding from the wound. To stop the bleeding, you must close it completely. That means deleting her number, blocking her online, removing photos and reminders, and refusing to engage in conversations that reopen old emotions. Cutting contact is not cruelty, it is self-defense. It does not mean you hate her, it means you love yourself more. A man who values his dignity will not offer an open door to someone who has already walked out of his heart. By closing the door firmly, you are not pushing her away. You are pulling yourself back into control. Understand this. Every time you check her profile, every time you reply to her message, every time you replay a memory in your mind, you give her power over you, and she may not even care. The cruel irony is that the more attention you give her, the less she values it. To break this toxic imbalance, you must starve it of oxygen. No attention, no response, no access. At first, this will feel like withdrawal, as if you are tearing away from an addiction. In truth, that is exactly what you are doing. She has become a drug, one that gives temporary highs, but leaves you weaker each time. The cure is not moderation, but abstinence. Only when she no longer occupies your mind will you be free to focus on yourself, your goals, and your future. This is the discipline that separates strong men from weak ones. Weak men chase closure, explanations, or one final conversation. Strong men walk away in silence, knowing that no explanation will erase the disrespect, and no final words will change the outcome. Strength lies in the ability to sever ties cleanly and permanently. Freedom begins the moment you no longer allow her access to your thoughts, your phone, or your life. Disconnection is not the end. It is the beginning of a life where your energy belongs to you again. Step 3. Shift the focus. Return to yourself. Once you cut her out of your life, the silence that follows can feel overwhelming. Many men mistake this silence for emptiness, as if losing her means losing their identity. But the truth is the opposite. What feels like emptiness is actually space. Space that is finally free, waiting to be filled by your own power. The key is to stop investing your energy into a woman who no longer values you and redirect it toward the one person who will always matter most: yourself. The mistake most men make after heartbreak is to search for another woman immediately, as though replacing her will heal the wound. This is nothing but distraction. If you do not first rebuild yourself, you will carry the same weakness into the next relationship, and the cycle will repeat. Instead of chasing another source of validation, become your own source. Rebuild your body, sharpen your mind, expand your skills. When you rise in strength, opportunities, romantic, professional, and personal, will come to you naturally. Every hour you once wasted checking her messages or worrying about her indifference can now be invested in growth. Go to the gym and transform the pain into muscle. Learn a new craft, master a skill, or push your career forward. Take the energy that once fed a dying relationship and pour it into building a life so powerful that her absence no longer matters. The more you focus on yourself, the less you will even think of her, because your own progress will become your obsession. This shift in focus also redefines your value as a man. A man who is consumed by a woman's approval will always remain her prisoner. But a man who invests in himself becomes untouchable. Women are naturally drawn to men who radiate independence, discipline, and ambition, not men who beg for attention. By focusing on yourself, you don't just recover, you ascend. You move from being the abandoned to being the desired. Understand this: letting go of her is not the end of your story, but the beginning of a stronger chapter. By pouring energy into yourself, you ensure that no woman can ever again hold the power to destroy you. You rise to a place where relationships become a choice, not a dependency. That is the ultimate freedom. Not needing her, not needing anyone, because you are already complete within yourself. Step 4. Redefine love and masculine value. Once you have redirected your energy back to yourself, the next step is to redefine what love truly means and how you measure your worth as a man. Many men remain trapped in toxic relationships because their definition of love is flawed. They mistake attachment for devotion, chaos for passion, and sacrifice for loyalty. They accept pain as proof that their love is real, when in truth, real love never requires you to abandon your dignity. To redefine love, you must first remove the illusion that suffering is noble. Enduring disrespect, betrayal, or indifference does not make you a stronger partner. It makes you a weaker man. A healthy love is not built on constant tests and survival through pain. It is built on respect, reciprocity, and stability. If these elements are missing, what you are experiencing is not love. It is dependency. Recognizing this distinction is the key to breaking free from emotional slavery. At the same time, you must redefine what gives you value as a man. Too many men believe their worth is measured by how much they can endure for a woman, or how much they are willing to sacrifice. This belief is poison. Your value does not come from how tightly you can cling to someone who mistreats you. Your value comes from your strength, your vision, your discipline, and your ability to command respect. A man's worth is reflected in how he demands to be treated, not in how much humiliation he tolerates. When you set new standards for yourself, everything changes. Instead of asking, "How do I keep her?" you begin asking, "Does she deserve me?" This reversal of perspective transforms you from a beggar of affection into the gatekeeper of your own kingdom. Women respect men who respect themselves. They are drawn to men who establish boundaries and walk away from anyone who crosses them. The man who redefines love no longer seeks validation from others, he embodies it. By embracing this new definition, you immunize yourself against the same pain in the future. You no longer fall for the trap of confusing manipulation with love or mistaking chaos for chemistry. You learn to recognize real affection when it comes and reject anything less. This is not cynicism, it is wisdom. It means that the next woman who enters your life will face higher standards, and if she cannot meet them, she will not stay. In redefining love and value, you claim authority over your emotional world. You declare that love is not meant to break you, but to strengthen you. And you affirm that as a man, your worth is never determined by a woman's treatment of you, but by the unshakable standards you set for yourself. Step 5. Disappear in silence and move forward. The final act of letting go is not dramatic, loud, or filled with explanations. It is silent. The strongest men understand that words are unnecessary once the truth is clear. You do not owe her a speech, a confrontation, or a justification for your decision. The greatest revenge against someone who disrespected you is not anger, but absence. By disappearing from her world without seeking closure, you demonstrate a level of strength she cannot ignore. The power to walk away with dignity. Silence is not weakness. It is control. Weak men argue endlessly, hoping their pain will be understood. Strong men understand that nothing they say can rewrite the past or change her heart. When respect is gone, conversations become meaningless. By choosing silence, you remove her final weapon, the ability to provoke you, to pull you back into the cycle, to drain your energy once more. She cannot fight a man who is no longer standing in the ring. To disappear is also to reclaim your energy for the future. Instead of wasting time crafting messages, rehearsing confrontations, or reliving memories, you invest that same energy into building the life you deserve. You move forward without announcing it, without begging her to see your worth, without hoping she regrets her choices. Your life itself becomes the statement. As you rise, she fades into irrelevance. This does not mean you erase the lessons. Every painful experience leaves wisdom behind. By moving forward in silence, you carry the lesson but leave the weight. You remember what disrespect feels like, so you never allow it again. But you refuse to let bitterness anchor you to the past. The man who truly lets go is not the one who hates her. He is the one who no longer thinks about her. Moving forward means embracing new goals, new opportunities, and new relationships when the time is right. It means you no longer measure yourself against her presence or absence, but against the vision you have for your own life. The world is wide, filled with challenges to conquer and victories to claim. Why waste another second orbiting around someone who already proved she does not value you? Disappear. Move forward. Let your silence speak louder than any words, and let your progress render her memory powerless. The ultimate proof of strength is not in holding on, not in fighting for closure, but in walking away so completely that the past no longer defines you. Letting go is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your strength. A woman who hurts you has already shown that she does not deserve a place in your future. By recognizing the truth, cutting off contact, returning to yourself, redefining love, and moving forward in silence, you reclaim what was always yours: your dignity, your freedom, and your power. Pain is temporary, but self-respect is eternal. The moment you choose yourself over the source of your suffering, you take back control of your life. Remember this: true strength is not measured by how long you can hold on, but by how firmly you can let go of what destroys you. The man who dares to walk away becomes untouchable, unstoppable, and free. If this message resonated with you, I want to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share your own journey of letting go. Don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful lessons on strength, self-mastery, and freedom. Your support helps us grow, and together, we rise stronger.